showtime!
Okay, what about the DR? I got that question on the last comparison, the differences between Thailand, Colombia, and Brazil. I saw a few people chime in and say, what about DR? DR as in their option of 4 places that they might want to relocate to, live, and possibly find love, find a woman. Let me first say the beauty standard there, Dominican women are very, very beautiful. I think they're the closest, or one of the closest women to black women, meaning that they have the complexion, they have the body shape, lips, face, some similar hair. Some would say on average their hair is more attractive. But they do the weave, they do the, I don't want to wet my hair, I'm not getting in the water. They do the, I'm not going to stand in the sun and get black. And they also have similar attitudes, like funky attitudes as black women. Very similar in those ways, although most of their native tongue is Spanish. I've been to Puerto Plata, Punta Cana, Santo Domingo. Spent more time in Puerto Plata, but and that's because it's a tourist place for single men, basically. But it's actually changing a lot. You see they're making some changes on the beach, many condos being built there. They're really trying to make it very attractive for people to relocate. I would say also it's a great expat community there. There has been some success with foreigners doing business in Puerto Plata, in the Sosua Beach and outside straight into Puerto Plata. We have had some success there. Things have changed now, of course, because of the beach and how they're going to rearrange that. But I would say there's an attractive expat community there. The women, some of the culture, good food, good music, good party, good nightlife, very good food. And very accessible. Dominican women, they cook. They love to cook, and they cook really good. I've had several, maybe 7 or 8 Dominican women cook for me, just from me asking, just saying, hey, would you cook me dinner? Sure. And they get in that kitchen, and I haven't been let down once. One time, a friend, she wasn't going to have no companionship or no company for Christmas, which is big to them. And she almost like invited herself over. She said, I'll come and cook for you for Christmas. Man, boy. And she came with decoration. She came with, she brought wine. She killed it, basically. She fed me so good. And then she asked, could she spend the night? And I'm like, what? Definitely. So on the cooking side of food, they're willing. It's part of their culture to take care of their men that way. Cooking and cleaning, definitely they get a 10 in those areas, in my opinion, from my experiences. The funny business that goes on there in the culture is there's a lot of scamming going on. People have gone out there and tried to buy property and been sold property that people haven't owned. They lost their money. Just scammed in every way. You can be scammed by your builders. Just in general, you have to be very mindful and very careful in the Dominican Republic of being scammed out of your money. The culture there also is a one-shot deal. They don't have the biggest reputation for treating someone good and favorable so they can get a long relationship, business relationship. You know, like you give somebody a good price or someone continues to come back to you, you show them some favor. No, they'll burn a bridge for a one-shot deal in Dominican Republic. And that's, I'm sure people could agree. You be like, damn, we're going to do a lot of business again. Nah, they want their price, and they don't care if you never do business with them again. They are willing to do a one-shot deal. They're not willing to build, in most cases, a long working relationship there. Also, it is a culture of that the woman gets taken care of. If you deal with it, it doesn't matter if that woman is in business or a lawyer or a teacher or whatever. They expect you to spend your money on them. And there's been a lot of guys with long distance relationships there. They will have their own Dominican papi and tell you that it's their cousin. And they'll take your money and share it with him. Or he'll know from the get-go that, I know back in the days I heard people say that they would let people rent their houses and their wife would cook and they'll make sure you have girls and everything. Like, they're okay with the woman making the money and the man taking the money or giving it to the man, or it's the culture there. And they will all have a boyfriend or a child or several children from a Dominican man. Now, of course, there's been more love and mixture between Dominicans and other races when they're in America. But even in America, I'm from New York, and they have their own big community in New York City, in Manhattan, called Washington Heights, where they pretty much run everything. They own the clubs, they own the restaurants, they own print shops. They have their community. Seriously, and they do business with each other. I don't know how great the business is, but I've definitely been scammed in America by Dominicans. The women also, guys have come there and said, this is my cousin, and the guy's living with them in the house that you rent or you bought, and you could lose your house to them too if they stay too long. They even scam each other. Lawyers will represent someone and take all the money. And so you got to be careful in that perspective when it comes to Dominican Republic and relationships in Dominican Republic. But yeah, I think far as Americans and especially New Yorkers, we have a lot of experience in interactions with Dominicans. It's not a new thing. They come really second after Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans been in New York for forever, since probably the 60s, and then probably during around the 80s, the Dominicans started coming in. At first, we didn't know the difference, but they made it clear that they were different from Puerto Ricans. Somehow, there's a little beef there, or one thinks they're better than the other, but there's a lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans that are married and intermixed as well. So now, safety there. It's so on the safe side. I would think the Santo Domingo is one of the more dangerous cities. Not too much problems going on in Puerto Plata. Punta Cana used to be really about family, trips, vacations, and attractions, But it's turning into the new party city from what I'm seeing. I haven't experienced it myself, but from what I've been seeing, Punta Cana has turned into or some of it has turned into a new party capital of Dominican Republic to some extent. So now, what is Dominican Republic more safe than Colombia? Definitely. Is Dominican Republic more safer than Brazil? I would say could be, but Brazil is a huge country, and it's hard to compare a place with over 200 million people with a place with 10 million people. It's underdeveloped still, yeah. It's still a lot of dirt roads, and there's still some infrastructure that needs to be built up for me to really say, oh yeah, I could live here. Now, if I had extra money to burn, might I get a small condo in Dominican Republic, in Punta Cana, possibly, but it's a place that I don't know if I could live because it's just not enough going on. It's not metropolitan in most ways. Maybe if you want to push it to Santo Domingo, somewhat, but for the most, even Santo Domingo got back streets that are like dirt roads, pebbles, and yeah. If you go over to what's the other beach that used to be popular in Dominican Republic? Boca Chica. Scam the hell out of you in Boca Chica on the beach for a fish dinner. I mean, they just, Dominicans are some scammers, man. They've been doing it for a long time. They're one of the first to come with the, someone is sick, my grandmother's sick, my mother is sick, I'm sick, my baby's sick. Send you pictures with people laying in hospital beds with tubes in their arms, and people probably they're not even related to, asking for money. They're some of the first to put it down that way. So that's just some of my thoughts on Dominican Republic, and throwing that into the hat. I will be going over to Kenya, because I'm going to put that as an option, because I'm on the fence. I don't know if Colombia is going to make it. One other thing I wanted to add, that although Dominicans will scam each other, but when it all comes down to it, it's them against the foreigner. They will band together. Like, if it's a problem and a girl calls the police, the police will be down to scam you with the girl. And then he might scam the girl, but if there's an accident in the street, and it's not even your fault. If you're on a moto or in a car and you get in an accident in the Dominican Republic, they're going to try to scam you as an American to get your money. The police, the lawyers, the person who got hit, the whole nine. It's us against them when it comes down to you being a foreigner and having a problem there. You better believe you're going to go down. But they will scam each other. And there's also a culture of older men with younger women, it being okay. Like an older guy taking a really young girl's virginity, and that's a thing there in Dominican Republic. Now, some people could say it differently, but from my experience, that's a thing there. And of course, they'll use their age, their machismo, their popularity, or even their money to manipulate a younger girl and get in there first and lay the groundwork, if you know what I mean. That's definitely something that goes on there as well. And they will rob each other, because I remember a girl told me, when I was in Santo Domingo, as a matter of fact, a girl told me, every girl that I called and let them know I was there, they was like, be careful, it's dangerous. So just same way they told me in South Africa, especially Joburg, be careful, it's dangerous. That's what they say about Santo Domingo. A girl said she went to the store to get something to eat, and they took her phone, but they also took her food. And I thought that was hilarious. Not that she got robbed, but that they would actually also take the time to take her food, which is crazy. So when I was in Santo Domingo, I was definitely a little leery. And it's the traffic is pretty bad in Santo Domingo too. And it's the south, I believe. And it's definitely a few degrees hotter than the north, like in Puerto Plata. It's hotter in Santo Domingo, in general, in my opinion. Didn't do too much time in Santiago. Only flown into Santiago when there were no flights into Puerto Plata, and drove over the mountain that I don't know if there's done now, but it's a crazy drive. And there was a story back in the days about people falling off that mountain, because and those taxi drivers will drive so fast over that mountain, you'd be like, please slow down. But they have developed that route, so I know they're probably finished by now, but that used to be a dangerous drive, especially at night. You wouldn't want to do that drive. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say regarding Dominican Republic. for now, of course, there's more. These are just my opinions, experiences, opinions of my experiences. I would, and if you want to join in and add something, I would appreciate more of you sharing your experiences than your opinion, because we could actually use your experiences. Iron sharpens iron. Opinions don't really matter. Everyone has one, right? So feel free to add your experiences so maybe we could all get some information and learn from that. Thanks, International Zoe.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?